Good morning, muscles! It's Mr. Fallon and happy Monday! I am so excited that you're joining us here for Good Morning Muscles today. Remember, Good Morning Muscles is your daily Kickstarter for what's going to be an amazing day. It's uploaded on It's Mr. Fallon's YouTube page every single morning at 6 a.m. Soon as you wake up, find Good Morning Muscles. Do it, get stronger, have a blast, eat a nice healthy breakfast, brush your teeth, and then move on with what you have next. It will just start off the day in the best way possible. Hey, let's do it! Alright, let's get warmed up. For our warm-up today, we are doing a husky size warm-up. And the sport that we're going to do with our husky size warm-up today is lacrosse. Do you remember lacrosse? When you play lacrosse, you use a long stick with a net on the top. Today, for our lacrosse warm-up, let's pick up our lacrosse stick, and we're going to start off. Oh, there's the ball on the ground. How do you need to pick it up? You need to scoop it. Alright, let's scoop it. Scoop that ball off the ground. This is how you get the ball off the ground in lacrosse. You scoop it up with your lacrosse stick. You put your foot in front and scoop it up as well. Come on, here it is over here. Let's scoop it. And over here. And scoop it up. And here, go back here and scoop it. Keep on scooping. Very nice. Oh, over here and scoop it. And over here and scoop it. Alright, one more. Alright, we have the ball in our lacrosse stick. Now let's run with it a little bit. Oh, and there's a teammate. Let's throw it to them. And throw it to them over there. Remember, we're going to fish our stick straight up in the air like this when we throw it. That will make it go to them so they can catch it. We're throwing it. One hand at the bottom of the stick, one hand in the middle. Keep on throwing it to your teammate. Pass it right to them so they can catch it. Alright, looking good. Keep throwing it. Very nice. So strong. Finish with it. Start on your shoulder. Finish it straight up and down. On shoulder, step, and finish with it straight up and down. Alright, here it comes to you. Let's catch it. Oh, it's a bad throw. Oh, it's over here. Catch it. And catch it over here. Oh, it's a little one. Catch it up here. Oh, go back and jump and catch it. And over here. And over here. Oh, one right here. Oh, catch it. And catch one over here. And catch one over here. And back and jump and catch it. It's a short one. Run up and catch it. And right in front of your face, catch it. And over here, catch it. And go back and catch it over here. And over here. A couple more catches. Very nice. Alright, we have it. Oh, there's another teammate. Let's toss it to him this time. Put it down by your knees. Step and toss. Step and toss it to your teammate. Toss it to your teammate. Very good. This is how we toss it. Hold it down by your knees. Step and toss. Trying to toss it right to our teammate. We're getting close to the goal. Getting ready to score. Keep tossing it to our teammates. Looks good, looks good. Oh, we need to catch it. And catch it. And catch it. And back here and catch it. And over here and catch it. Up here and catch it. Back here and catch it. Very good. Keep catching. Alright, we have it in our net. Now we're going to run up. We're getting really close to the goal. Oh, dodge the defender. Woo! And dodge the defender. Woo! And dodge the defender. Over here. Come on. We're getting really close though. Now we're close to the goal. Put your hands together on the bottom. Put up by your shoulder. Step and shoot it hard. Alright. Step and shoot it hard. Shoot it really hard. Very good. We want to shoot it as hard as you can so you can make a goal. Up on your shoulders. Step and shoot. Bring your hands all the way down. Shoot it hard. We're trying to score all across the goal. Come on, a couple more hard shots. I wonder if we're going to score. Oh, that goalie's really good, though. He's going to block it if we don't shoot it hard. Shoot it as hard as you can. Harder. Shoot it harder. And you scored. Yes. Hey, nice warm-up muscles. So, why did the man put his money in the freezer? Silly spot to put your money, man. Why'd he put it there? Because he wanted some cold, hard cash. Get it? Because his money froze and gave him cold, hard cash. Hey, it's time for a new segment. It's called Top 3. This segment, Mr. Fallon's going to tell you his top 3 of an item, and then you're going to put your top 3 of this item in the comments down below. Today's topic is Mr. Fallon's top 3 favorite fruits. Number 3, pineapple. Number 2, apples. And number 1, what do you think it is? Watermelon. Delicious. Put your top 3 in the comments below. Alright, it's now time for Spot Run Story Time. We're reading Wayside School's Falling Down. Get up, get spot running. We have one for Miss Cornell today. Chapter 10 is all about music. Benjamin still hadn't told anybody he wasn't Mark Miller. His grades had never been better. Mark Miller is a lot smarter than Benjamin Nushmut, he thought. When they chose up teams for kickball, he was always the first one picked. Mark Miller is a better kicker than Benjamin Nushmut, he realized. The girls in the class liked him, too. Mark Miller's better looking than Benjamin Nushmut, he decided. But unfortunately, he knew he had to tell Mrs. Jules' real name. He sighed, then slowly raised his hand. Mrs. Jules gave him a tambourine. He had been so busy thinking about his problem, he hadn't even noticed that Mrs. Jules was passing out musical instruments. She had just asked who would like the tambourine. So when he raised his hand, she gave him a tambourine. Who would like the triangle, asked Mrs. Jules. Joe raised his hand, and Mrs. Jules gave it to him. Why is it called a triangle, asked Joe. I don't know, said Mrs. Jules. Maybe because it's shaped like a triangle, suggested John. No, that can't be, said Mrs. Jules. Then the tambourine would be called a circle. Maybe it was invented by a person named Joe Triangle, said Rondi. That's probably it, said Mrs. Jules. She held up the next instrument. It was a glockenspiel. Who would like the glockenspiel, she asked. Sherry raised her hand. Nobody asked why it was called a glockenspiel. It was obvious. Mrs. Jules gave the bells to Stephen. Why are they called bells, he asked. Nobody knew. Joy got the bongo drums. Todd got the bass drum. Jenny snared the snare drum. And Leslie got the kettle drum. When they banged on them, it hurt everybody else's eardrums. Mrs. Jules gave one cymbal to Kelvin and the other cymbal to Bibi. DG got the gong. The three Erics got kazoos. Mrs. Jules shouted, Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. The children all played their instruments. They shook, rattled, rocked, and rolled. Joy bonged her bongos. DJ gonged his gong. Sherry glockened her glockenspiel. Stephen jingled his bells. Kelvin and Bibi slapped their cymbals together, and Joe's triangle went ting. But something didn't sound right. What's wrong, Mark? Said Mrs. Jules. Why aren't you playing the tambourine? My name's not Mark, said Benjamin. It's Benjamin Nushmut. I'm sorry for not telling you before. What? Asked Mrs. Jules. I can't hear you. My name isn't Mark, he said. It's Benjamin. Louder, said Mrs. Jules. So everyone played louder. Todd bashed his bass drum. Leslie cooked on her kettle drum. Kelvin and Bibi crashed their cymbals together. And Joe's triangle went ting. My name is Benjamin, shouted Benjamin. Mrs. Jules put her hand to her ear. Louder, she said. So everyone played louder. DJ kabonged his gong. Joy cahonged her bongos. Paul spackled his castanets. Jenny spaghettied her snare drums. Kelvin and Bibi warmed their cymbals. And Joe's triangle went ting. My name's Benjamin Nushmut, hollered Benjamin Nushmut. Louder, yelled Mrs. Jules, so everyone played louder. The three Erics screamed into their kazoos. Kelvin and Bibi ran to the opposite side of the room with their cymbals, then charged toward each other. Suddenly, the door flew open, and a man entered. Benjamin had never seen him before. The whole class became very quiet. It was Mr. Kidswatter, the principal. Kelvin and Bibi screeched to a halt just in time. Their cymbals were less than an inch apart. Is something the matter, Mr. Kidswatter? Asked Mrs. Jules. Several teachers had complained about your music, said Mr. Kidswatter. Their students are having trouble hearing. I understand, said Mrs. Jules. Good, said Mr. Kidswatter. He walked out of the room. Okay, you heard Mr. Kidswatter, said Mrs. Jules. We'll have to play louder so everyone can hear. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. They shook, rattled, rocked, and rolled. Benjamin trampled his tambourine. Excellent, Mark, shouted Mrs. Jules. He smiled. He had never played so well before. Mark Miller's a better musician than Benjamin Nushmut, he thought. Boys and girls, that's it for today. Tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to learn about Kathy and DJ. Game time! All right, this week on Game Time, we are going to be practicing what Mr. Folland was just doing. Mr. Folland was juggling. And this week, we're going to practice juggling all week long. For today's juggling game, we're going to use our paper and tape ball. Later on in the week, we're going to need 3 paper and tape balls. So perhaps after we're done today, you can work on making those. Also, tomorrow during Good Morning Muscles, when we practice our juggling, we're going to need 2 or 3 plastic shopping bags. So if you can find those for tomorrow, that will help you out. For today, we're going to practice juggling just 1 ball. And the way we're going to practice is we're going to hold it in one hand and toss it and catch it in the other hand. Now it's in this hand, toss it and catch it. Just like this. In order to be a fantastic juggler, you have to be able to juggle one ball. And if you can do this just like Mr. Fallon's doing it, hey, you're a juggler. Toss it from this hand, catch it with this hand. Very good. And if you would like to, if it's too hard for you to do that, of course it's okay to toss it with one hand and catch it with two. Of course this is okay. And if it gets a little bit easy, then you could try to toss it and catch it with one hand. You could try to toss it a little bit higher and catch it. But every time you catch it, you want to catch it right about where your belly button is, right down here. That will help us out when we add our second and third balls later on in the week. All you're going to do is toss and catch, back and forth, over and over and over again. If you want to be able to add a second ball or a third ball or even a fourth ball, you need to be so good at juggling just one ball. Mr. Fallon tried to do it without looking at it. You have to look at the ball when you toss it and when you catch it. That's how you're able to catch it. Mr. Fallon doesn't look at the ball. Oh, Mr. Fallon can see the ball in the camera. Now I can look at the camera and catch it. Oh, I'm cheating. Bah! That's why it just works better if you just look at the ball and catch it. Look at the ball and catch it. And if it gets a little bit easy for you again, you could toss it higher. Right now, Mr. Fallon can't toss it super high because it hits the ceiling and then comes down. So perhaps Mr. Fallon could go outside and practice. And now the next challenge you can try. Once you get so good at this, this is an extra challenge you can try. You can try and toss it under your leg and catch it. So this would be a one-ball juggling trick. This is the one-ball juggling trick we're going to learn for today. Toss it under your leg and catch it. Toss it under your leg and catch it. Can you do this juggling trick? This is our juggling trick for today. We're juggling just one ball, tossing it under our leg. And again, you can toss it up and catch it with two hands if you'd like, or you can do it with one hand, whatever is easier. You can toss it higher, but every time you catch it, try to catch it right by your waist. Keep your eye on that ball and catch it every single time. Boys and girls, so fun. Make sure you practice it a lot because we're going to need to be so good at doing this before we can add a second ball. We'll work on that tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow we're going to be using some plastic shopping bags. So if you can find some plastic shopping bags for tomorrow, that will help you out. Practice it. Oh, boys and girls, that is it for Good Morning Muscles today. Oh, feel those muscles. Woo! Mr. Fallon's muscles are feeling good and hard. I feel so strong today. Wow, do you feel strong today? You look strong. So keep working hard. Boys and girls, come back tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to be continuing with our juggling. We'll have a new warm-up for you. Reading some more of Good Morning, Wayside Schools Falling Down. Having some more fun. Boys and girls, I can't wait for tomorrow. But right now, I can't wait to get outside and practice to play a bunch of things today. I'm going to go eat some breakfast. Maybe I'm going to have some of my favorite watermelon. Put your top 3 favorite fruits down in the comments below. And then I'm going to brush my teeth. And then I'm just going to have an awesome day. I hope you have one too. And we'll see you tomorrow. Muscles!